All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. Max Barr joins. A nice Friday morning. Going to discuss SEC basketball action from Thursday night. Several games in the books. And then we're going to preview tonight's games, quite a few of those.
Yes.
No games on Saturday, surprisingly, but no games tomorrow. But we will get into all the action, of course. And before we do, if you guys are looking at the comments, you're going to see Sam Smith has a nice little gold Southeastern 16 beside his name now. We'll mention why that is here in just a bit. But Game Time Sidekicks, as you know, the best way to watch your favorite team play or watch this show, because you can have a nice beverage in your officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. Every SEC school is there. Over 350 more universities as well. And they've got everything from the stainless steel sippy cups, the tumblers, the 40-ounce bottles, the shaker cups. They got it all over at Game Time Sidekicks. SE16 is the code. SE16 over at GameTimeSidekicks.com. All right. Now, let's get into the action here, Max Barr. Before we do, again, if you're a member of the channel, you're going to notice you've got some new little badges beside your name. Some of you won't. Some of you still have badges that are a work in progress. Some of you will, but we'll get into that at the end. Our new membership tiers are officially here, and we will tell you guys all about them here at the end of the show. Max and I just couldn't sleep last night. We were so excited.
Exciting times, Blake.
Exciting times. Exciting times, to say the least. All right, let's get into the action from last night. Do you want to just get the bad out of the way first, Max?
I mean, I like doing that. I like getting the bad out of the way first.
Just get it done with,
Yeah.
It's like going to the dentist. You just want to get it out of the way and move on to the next thing.
See what you did there.
I know. You saw what I did there. Kansas State 98, Mississippi State 77. Chris Jans told us yesterday on the audio we listened to that PJ Haggerty was going to potentially be a problem. And, well, PJ Haggerty was a problem in this game. 37 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. The guy just went off in this one. And, also, as Chris Jans mentioned, he talked about the potential scoring onslaught from this Kansas State team from the outside, Max. And if you look at it, Kansas State goes 14 of 30 from 3. Haggerty hit 4 of those. Bashir hit 4 of them. Had a couple other guys that hit 2 apiece. And so that was really the story, is that Kansas State just made a ton of threes. They out-rebounded Mississippi State. Mississippi State turned it over a bit. Josh Hubbard leading the way, no surprise, 23 points. But I said yesterday the player I was most keyed in on was Jaden Epps. Nice game from Jaden Epps. So, yeah, I think, just was not a good overall performance here from the Bulldogs.
I'm running out of panic buttons, Blake. I'm running out of panic buttons. We need a new shipment from Sanders of panic buttons because we need another smash of a panic button. I was very low on Mississippi State in the offseason, and as a former Mississippi State Final Four picker, got a lot of slack from my Bulldog fans, not believing in Mississippi State. Pulled me back in the first few games, pulled me back in. Started the season about 26th, 25th in the projections from analytics. Right now on KenPom, 62nd. After just 4 games, went from a preseason projection of 26 to a 62nd right now. That's well outside of the tournament picture. 313th in offensive turnover rate, 332nd defensively forcing turnovers. That is not going to cut it. Turning the ball over and not forcing any. This isn't a tournament team right now, Blake. I'm not sure. I'm not sure really what to say. It's this is not a NCAA tournament team.
Yeah, it's just not right now. And by the way, Big Gator EJ says everyone's usernames are different. Big Gator EJ, we'll explain that in a minute. We have upgraded our membership stuff, so you guys will see a little bit of a different feel to your memberships here, and we'll explain that in just a second. But we'll get into everything on that. And yeah, I think right now, like you said, if you're looking at sort of the way this thing has played out for Mississippi State, I don't know that it's that different, Max, than what we had previously mentioned.
Mm.
Because we said like you kind of had the known with Josh Hubbard, you knew you were going to get with him, but then you were just, it was a matter of seeing how everything else around them was going to play out. And I think the one thing that you've kind of been able to bank on with Mississippi State in the Jans era has been defense, right? I mean, they've been a pretty good defensive team. Those first couple of years, they were top 25-ish in the country. Last year took a little bit of a step back. But as we said, they made the tournament every year, won 21 games, won 8 games in the SEC. But like so far, when you look at the kind of the defensive stuff, yeah, I mean, 98 to Kansas State, 96 to Iowa State. I just think that's going to be something, and you're not forcing hardly any turnovers right now. I think, yeah, like that may be the longer term issue because, again, scoring wise, you're always going to have a chance with Hubbard. But, clearly, too, you're going to need a bit more around him consistently to feel like they have, higher upside. So,
Yeah, we don't have any video press conference from Jans to show you guys, but he did do a quick radio show after the game, and he did have an interesting kind of answer on how he thinks Quincy Ballard's been playing. Jan said, I didn't think he protected the rim like he's capable of. And at the end of the first half, when everybody in the whole gym knew they were going to drive the ball and he was standing at the charge circle, I was disappointed in him. That was a momentum swinger, and it pricked our balloon. He definitely had some moments showing what he's capable under the basket defensively, but offensively, he's got to build on it. He's got to have more stretches where he shows his teeth. That's what Jan said on Ballard. And as Big Gator EJ brings up, Mississippi State missing Riley Kugel and Keyshawn Murphy right now, also missing Mike Nwoko. Look at what Nwoko has been doing. Look at the numbers that Mike Nwoko has been putting up. You would really feel a lot better about this team if you had a Keyshawn Murphy, Mike Nwoko tandem in the front court to pair with Epson Hubbard. We said in the offseason, this is not a Tolu Smith and Cam Matthews front court they're running out there. We're not bringing Jimmy Bell off the bench here. This is a much different front court. I don't know how it's going to look, and this is how it's looking.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Spider says K-State's offense is legit, and then Chris asks, how good is K-State? I agree with you. They're going to score a lot of points, but the fact is, I mean, you've got a 16-point loss and a 21-point loss in your first, 4 games. And I know, again, your Iowa State, Kansas State, Iowa State's better than Kansas State, in my opinion, but I just think there are going to be some trends here to where I don't think we can just ignore it, too. And I think, yeah, that's going to be just kind of something that we're going to track with Mississippi State. Credit to those teams, like we said, that they obviously played very well in those games, but I still think, with Mississippi State, that there are going to be some ups and downs this season, and we'll see if they can figure out some of these things. But clearly, Kansas State it was the 3-point barrage, kind of as Jans alluded to yesterday. So that's how it played out. Anything else on the Bulldogs, Max? They're going to play New Mexico on Friday, they played New Mexico today, sorry. And then next week, they've got that game against SMU at home, which is, a very important game for Mississippi State, to say the least, based on kind of the rest of their non-conference schedule. So,
yeah, two parts here. How good is Kansas State? I'm not really sure right now, because in the 2 games before this, against Tulsa at home, 1-point win, against Cal at home, 3-point win. So they had 2 really poor results heading into the game, but then looked amazing. Chris Jans did say about the game tonight, Blake, against New Mexico. He said, as bad as you feel right now. And he said it was a somber locker room. You get drilled by Iowa State in the neutral game, and then you don't play well against Sela, whatever. 7-point win there, and then you get drilled by Kansas State. He was like, as bad as you feel right now, if you lose again tomorrow night, it's going to feel even worse. So we got to pick ourselves up and get back out there. It's going to be a tough, long night, but we got to win this game tomorrow. Tomorrow is now tonight, and I believe they're a 6-point favorite. So, man, this one all of a sudden means a whole lot when maybe before the season we weren't putting too much into the 5th game of the season for Mississippi State. Now it means a whole lot.
Yeah. All right. Before we move on, so Big Gator EJ asked a minute ago right about the usernames, and I thought it was tied to the new membership stuff we did. Not true at all. So actually, YouTube has changed this, and it seems like there is a bit of backlash right now on Twitter and other platforms that people are not happy that YouTube has changed. Instead of the names being displayed, it is now the usernames being displayed. So it's not an us thing, folks. Apparently, this is a YouTube thing they're implementing, which I will hold back my thoughts on at the moment. But yes, I'm not sure about that. We'll see if that goes back to the norm. But yeah, it was not us. Here it is right here from Team YouTube. We're launching handles in live chat because unlike channel names, handles are unique. Wait, what? We're launching they help you stand out so people can find and interact with you and also make it easier to confirm if you're engaging with the right person. Change your handle. I don't know what. You guys will have to look into this. I don't know what's going on. But anyways.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently Phil says it's been going on elsewhere, so I don't know. Anyways, we'll talk more about that later. Let's get to the good stuff. All right, we got all the bad out of the way. Let's get to the good stuff. All right, Tennessee gets the win, 89-60 over Tennessee State. I think that one of the bigger stories coming out of this, not Jacoby Gillespie. Well, he was the big story. JP Estrella. Day-to-day is what they're calling him right now. So that's better than season-ending or weeks or months, potentially. So that's a nice development. Jacoby Gillespie was the leading scorer for the Vols. He had 17 in this one. 1 of 7 from 3. They went 8 of 25 as a whole. Something to keep an eye on. But the bigger story, I think, could define Tennessee's season, Max, and that to me is Amari Abram, who went for 15 in this game, went 3 of 4 from 3. I think he'd had, a combined 11 points or something like that in the previous 3 or 4 games, whatever it was. I wrote this stat in my Basket Under Review column this morning. You can go read that now. I think it's the longest one I've written at this point. It's a long read, but I did put the stat in there, and I think that's what you want to see. Because if you're looking now, Estrella's out, you're looking for that third type score. I think, Abrams probably as good of an option as you have just based on his past production, and so at least that's a step in the right direction, I think, in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And Barnes has been asked about him every press conference, and he always just says consistency. That's what they're looking for with Abram. They just want him to be more consistent. They know what he's capable of. He's just got to do it every day. He keeps talking about Dwayne Brown and how he's the biggest surprise of the team from the offseason. Jalen Carey fouls out in only 13 minutes. A little bit surprised by that, but hey, what does that matter when you got Cade Phillips, Akpara, and Dwayne Brown, even with JP Estrella out? So Nate Ament is now up to number 3 in the Ken Pom Player of the Year rankings. If you're still on the Ament is not an elite player and is not one of the best freshmen in the country, you need to hop off that train before it gets embarrassing because this kid's unreal. The only thing I'm harping on, 20 assists, 17 turnovers. Barnes wasn't happy with the assist to turnover ratio. Got to clean that up. Even against a Tennessee State wasn't ideal. But I mean, what are you going to take away? Is Tennessee State not going to put too much into it? Still the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country, 49.7%. That's not going anywhere.
We'll probably need that a bit this season, I think, just whenever you get into some of those lulls offensively, maybe. So, yeah, Bishop Boswell, Sam notes the hamstring. And, Sam, I was mentioning Estrella. They are listing him as day-to-day, even though it seems like the expectation is not that he will return, tomorrow or anything. But that is what Tennessee's calling it. They're going to continue to monitor and to evaluate. So, yes, that does read, hey, he's not going to be out a long time, but not coming back right this second either. So, when they get him back, that's going to be something. The Jalen Carey thing, I don't mean to bring it back to the negative side, but I have been very surprised so far that he's just not been a bigger factor. But I'm sure there are reasons for that. But yeah, that's been a little bit of a surprise to me.
I mean, his numbers are great. Like, he's got a career high O rating right now, career high offensive rebound percentage, career high defensive rebound percentage, career high assist rate. Like, when he's out there, he's playing. When he's out there, the numbers are great. He's just not out there a ton right now.
We'll see. I think they'll need him in SEC play. Just I think with the physicality and all that stuff. So, and again, I mean they've beaten up on a lot of inferior opponents. So it's not like you need Jalen Carey playing 30 minutes a game right now.
Right.
So I don't want to exaggerate that point too much, but again, it's Rick Barnes. He can probably pick some things apart and all that he'd like to see more of potentially. All right, so Tennessee gets the win. We know what is on the horizon for the Vols. They head to Vegas, and they'll play Rutgers on Monday, and then it's Houston on Tuesday. So one of your games of the week. I did rank my top 5 SEC games for Feast Week, Max, in my basket under review column. I may revisit that maybe at the end of the show. Okay.
Tell you what,
elsewhere,
that Rutgers game might not be a appointment in television. Rutgers is going 6'8", 6'8", 6'10", the 3-4-5. That might be a little choppy.
It's not going to be pretty. I can tell you that right now. So, okay, Missouri 102-68 win over South Dakota. Missouri now 6-0. Only 2 more to go to get to that 8-0 number that we put on them previously, and I think they have a good chance to get there. But yeah, another high-scoring performance here. No surprise. Mark Mitchell with 22, Javon Porter with 19. You had Cruz with 15. You had Mack with 13, Stone with 12, and Robinson with 11. So all your guys just came out and said, hey, we're going to score here. And a nice performance for the Tigers. Got to the free throw line a lot. Like we said, I think that's what your expectation is going to be of this team long term. They did turn the ball over a bit. I assume in the post-game, Dennis Gates may not love that. And, of course, also worth noting, did not have Sean Phillips in this game either.
Don't worry about Phillips, though. It's illness, not like a physical ankle or something like that. Just he was sick, but he's been sick a lot, I feel like. But hello, Mr. Boateng. Welcome. Welcome to the season, Mr. Boateng. We've been waiting for you. 14 minutes. Gets in there finally. He was, being talked up by the Missouri Beats this offseason. I think he ran into a little bit of injury, and then finally we're getting a Nor Boateng back. But we get a Boateng back. Phillips is out with an illness. Missouri just can't get to 100%, but doesn't go below like 75. Just missing 2-3 guys consistently. Still no the Trents. Pierce and Burns are still out. So I mean, this is a Missouri front court that right now has been going Luke Northweather, Javon Porter, Mark Mitchell, sprinkling in a little Nick Randall, and obviously Phillips when he's out there. And you're gonna add 2 more guys to that rotation. We're gonna listen to Dennis Gates, and he's gonna tell you about the backcourt and wing depth. This Missouri team, I think it's time to hop on. I know they haven't played anyone in the KenPom top 90. Minnesota the best at 93rd right now. But there's a lot of teams that haven't played, a top game that have looked pretty poor in some games. And since that SEMO game, Missouri's been rolling.
All right, you want to hear from Dennis Gates?
Your guy?
Set this up, Max, because you have a better context than I do on what this is.
So Gates is talking about, this is great. You guys are going to like this, Missouri fan. Gates is asked about kind of Jaden Stone and Cruz, kind of what they've meant to the team, both locker room and on the court. And then there's a little bit, we need to get in on this, by the way. We need to get in on this. I want a shirt. There is a fan club going on right now, building in the underground for Jacob Cruz, the Cruz Crew. It's some good stuff. Dennis Gates buying into it. Some fun stuff going on in Columbia right now, Blake.
All right. Here we go.
It's lethal. It is.
By the way, this isn't very loud, folks. You'll have to turn your...
turn it up.
Flow. Those guys are, people say you have 5 starters. Last year we had 6 with Caleb Grill, right? This year we got 7. And they're playing like that. When you can have double-digit consistent guys like a Jaden Stone and a Jacob Cruz. By the way, I want to get one of those T-shirts they had. Y'all seen that T-shirt? Somebody had that T-shirt. Are they selling those somewhere?
I know a guy.
Okay. I want one of those, the Cruise Crew or something. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I've never seen it. You ain't got nothing like that. But that was cool. I thought that was amazing. But it just speaks for their level of unselfishness. For these guys to become professional players, they're going to be off in their first 2 years coming off somebody's bench. And I think that's helping Caleb Grill right now as he plays with the Windy City Bulls G League team. And it's going to help these guys become stars in their roles. Jaden Stone is an unselfish guy. He averaged 20 points a game the last year he played. Jacob Cruz is the same. You see his growth, but now you have to pick your poison on how you defend us. Those guys just open up space for our playmakers, and Robinson and Mark Mitchell. Sorry about that, Mark. They do a good job.
Yeah. I mean, sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I think it's just so I wrote this specific phrase in my column today. And that was that I said, I think Jacob Cruz needs to bring some of those Caleb Grill type elements into SEC play. And if he can do that, because right now he's shooting, what is it? I can't remember the number off the top of my head. 16 to 26 from three this year, something like that. I think that's the number I had. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's going to stay at that percentage the rest of the season, but if he can be that kind of guy, that's going to make a huge difference from this team. So,
oh yeah, I got a picture to pull up here if you guys were wondering. There it is right there. The Cruise Crew. Come on. Tell me you do not want a Cruise Crew shirt joining the club. I think that was Jacob Cruz in the press conference that said, "I know a guy." I think that was that was himself saying he knows a guy. It's good stuff. I mean, hey, you can tell there's a difference in some of the we've been showing the press conference. You can tell just by the energy. I mean, obviously, if a team loses, the coach is not going to be all happy and laughy and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, there's something going on there in Missouri. I like this team.
Yeah, Cruz is shooting 61.5% from three right now. So 16 to 26, that's the number. So, yeah. I just think, I mean, you're not going to be upset with that. I mean, even like Jaden Stone's 10 to 24 for 41.7%. So if you're getting that from those guys, like, you're in good shape. So.
Yep. Still got T.O. Barrett, Seb Mack. It's a deep team. Yeah.
No, it is for sure. So, all right. So Missouri, as we mentioned, coming up next, they should be 8-0. They play South Carolina State next Tuesday, and then Cleveland State next Friday. I don't love those day after Thanksgiving games for any SEC team. It's feast week though. You got to feast in some of these. So, all right. Next up, we have Vanderbilt 109, Texas Southern 74. Max, do you know that the current team in college basketball, that if I could find the right tab, to be honest with you, it's gonna take a minute here, but the leading scoring team in college basketball is who? Could you name that right now?
Just overall, like points per game?
Yes, points per game.
Would it be a team that scored 104 out of their 5 games?
Believe it or not, it's not Vanderbilt. It's actually McNeese, who currently leads the way, 103.5 points per game. But there are two teams averaging 103 right behind them. That is Vanderbilt and Louisville. NC State, by the way, 100.8 points per game. So the Will Wade effect. McNeese, NC State.
Points.
A lot of points. Points. Georgia's 7th, by the way, in case you were curious. LSU's 10th. 3 SEC teams in the top 10, Vanderbilt, Georgia, LSU right now.
Just like we thought.
Just like we predicted. But the Commodores, yes, as you talked about, I mean, 105, 92, 104, 109. I don't care who you're playing. There are some teams that have played worse non-conference schedules than this so far that aren't putting up those numbers. So Vanderbilt is an absolute offensive machine right now. Remind me of the Harlem Globetrotters out there. That may be what we have to compare them to. I mean, these guys are just putting up points anytime they want. And last night, you had 7 guys in double figures. Tyler Tanner goes for 20. Tyler Nickel goes for 20. Tyler Harris goes for 10. Now, there's a shirt right there. Somebody's got to be capitalizing on the 3 Tylers. But Duke Miles had 12. I'm missing him. But McLaughlin had 14 and so forth.
You name the player, they probably had double digits, Blake.
Yeah, that's the thing. I probably left somebody out in there, but they went 14 of 40 from 3. 28
and
assists.
They grabbed 17 of their misses.
28 assists. That is the thing. Should be salivating over. Unselfish teamwork. They're playing basketball in Nashville, Tennessee.
They are up to number 3 in Ken Palm's offensive efficiency rating. Number 3 offense. This is a top 3 offense in the country, folks. We tried to tell you. Don't worry. A lot of you listened. This is an offense that has McLaughlin with an O rating of 155, Nickel 155, Duke Miles 152. I don't know if there's another team in the country that has 3 guys with offense, 3 guys with high minutes, high volume guys, all with individual offensive ratings over 150. That is nuts. That is crazy efficiency. And we haven't been talking too much about our good friend, Mr. Bart Torvik. But one thing I like about Torvik that Ken Palm can't do is you can do the filtering. And you can take out all the preseason analytics, and it can just be the raw numbers from the season so far. Small sample size, of course, but it's a cool thing to look at without the preseason projections. If you take out all the preseason stuff and you're just ranking based on the raw data of 4 to 5 games, depending on what you played, Vanderbilt right now is the number 5 team in the country, the number 1 team in the SEC. When you take out all preseason stuff, people have played different schedules, and you can harp on, well, they haven't played this team, that team, 100%. But when the numbers are the numbers, and when you filter out the preseason, Vanderbilt right now, top 5 in the country, number 1 in the league.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're just, I know, like, again, you can pick on some of the games, but we say that, guys, they went and scored 105 on UCF on the road, and UCF has wins over A&M and Pitt right now, which, like we said, those teams may be working. What's that?
They just held Pitt to 67.
Yeah, so I don't want to go too far in the direction of saying Vanderbilt hasn't played anybody. They have played somebody. And, yeah, I mean, they're just putting up points aplenty. They're going to play Western Kentucky to start off the Battle for Atlantis next Wednesday. Now, that's an early tip there. I don't know if the Commodores want to play at 11 a.m. or whatever the tip is, but Western Kentucky, by the way, I think is the worst three-point shooting team in the country. So, now anytime we say that about a team, they come out and hit 15 threes. But right now, Western Kentucky is shooting 18.4% from 3. They're getting 63.6% of their points from 2, 26, which is second in the country, by the way. So I don't know. If we're trading 2s from 3s in a game against Vanderbilt, it could be tough. But I love the way this team looks right now. I don't care who they're playing. It's the chemistry, because guess what? There's a lack thereof with some of these other teams right now. These guys play well together. They are very unselfish, and I just think they are going to be an offensive juggernaut. They're not going to score 100 every game. They may, I don't know, but they're going to be hard to match up. I don't care who you are. It's just a hard matchup.
So this is interesting. You have to go back to the 2011-2012 Vanderbilt team it was all seniors in the starting lineup. John Jenkins, Jeffrey
Taylor,
Festus Ezeli. Yep.
Who else was there? Yeah. All those guys.
Odom, Parker.
Oh, yeah. Odom. Yep.
So that team, that 2011-2012 team, they started the season projected 8th. And then after one game, they got bumped back to 13th. They fell back a little bit in the analytics, and they didn't get higher. This current Ken Palm ranking of 12 is the highest analytical ranking for Vanderbilt basketball back to 1996-97, besides the one game of 2011-2012 season with the preseason projection. Other than that one game against Oregon in 2011-2012, this is the highest analytical ranking in the history of KenPom for Vanderbilt. That's insane.
Nice. I pulled up my coveted. I have coach's notes from someone who went to a Mark Byington coaching clinic when he was at James Madison, and I always refer to this anytime I watch them play because I think it really you can find the little fine details in this. And like I'm just looking at this, like the very top line of this coaching clinic note here: transition offense, ball screen offense, and flow. Like this team's got the flow is what they've got, and sort of just talks about how if you watch the Suns teams, right, with Mike D'Antoni and all that, like there's a lot of those kind of elements where it's just there's so many guys who can handle the ball. You've got the spacing, like the transition game is just incredible. And I think, like something else in these notes, and I think, again, this is fascinating. Here's a great sentence. Everyone is involved, and it can play to each of their strengths. That's exactly what they do.
Yep.
Everyone is involved in how they play. Their offensive scheme, everyone can have a role with how they run their stuff. And you can it's interchangeable, right? You can just put one guy here, one guy there, and it's very interchangeable. So, yeah. You're laughing at something.
Just a Riley LaChance shout out in the chat.
I haven't had a Riley LaChance shout out in a while.
Yeah.
Shout out Riley LaChance. And some of you are hopping in late. What's up with the usernames? Yeah, we said it earlier. This is a YouTube change. It's not an us change. So I know some of you guys like, I don't know who you are at this point because your full name's not there. So if we don't give you the usual shout outs, you know why. But nonetheless, there you have it. Okay, let's get to Oklahoma here. We still got a lot to do on this show. We got to tell you about our new membership tiers and all this other stuff. My goodness, this is a blockbuster Friday show here. But let's quickly talk about Oklahoma.
Yeah.
As they got the win last night, 95-74 over Oral Roberts. As Max alluded to, there weren't certain players walking through that door to suit up for the Golden Eagles. It was a bit of a problem because you did have Oklahoma get the win here. Mo Wagi was the story, had 20 points, 7 rebounds in this one, and Nigel Pack had 18 for the Sooners. What did you take away from Oklahoma's 24-point victory here, Max?
Well, it should have been more than 24. Should have been more than 24.
Yeah, defense wasn't great in the second half.
Second half defense was not there. They were up 37-35 with 11 minutes left. They're up by 32, drilling them with 11 minutes left. You could have stretched, if you focus in, you could stretch that thing out to 40, 45 and really game the analytics, really crush the analytical projection by like 20, make a big jump. You let up, 30 points in the last 10 minutes of the game to Oral Roberts, and you only win by 24, and you stay the same in the analytics. Like, that stuff matters. I hate that it matters as much as it does, but that's just the world we live in right now. You got to beat that analytical projection if you want to move up, and they had all the opportunity to do so, and you lose defensive focus the last 10 minutes of the game. However, Jadon Jones, welcome to finally. We've been waiting to watch this guy for 2 years, out all last year, was out the beginning of this year. Jadon Jones comes in, makes all 5 of his free throws in 13 minutes, 8 points, drills a 3, 2 assists, no turnovers. Finally get some more backcourt help. Jeff Nwankwo is in a bad shooting slump, 1 of 14. Tay Davis finally saw his first 3 go in. Darian Reed finally saw his first 3 go in. Team's just got to get some confidence down. It was an improved performance, but still a little shaky.
All right, let's hear what Porter Mosier had to say about Mo Wagi and his development here.
Oh yeah.
Well, he slowed down. Like we threw it to him in the we threw it. They were kind of stepping up, and we ran everybody flat coming out of a timeout. We threw it to Mo. He caught it, took his time, and then went and then took his spun, and he's slowing down a little bit. Sometimes when he gets the ball. We play through him on the 3-point line. He knows how to hand off screen, but when he catches it inside, sometimes he rushes. And I thought he found his feet, gathered himself and went and made a couple moves. So he's slowing down a little. Everything with him is just a double-edged sword because, there's just such a part of me pulling at me not to wear him out and get too many reps in practice. Availability is one of your biggest strengths once you start in these games. But on the flip side, I need to get him in elite shape because I think he gets, the conditioning part of it for him. He played 22 minutes. When he gets tired and I can't get him out, there could be 3 possessions. You could just see it. But man, when he's fresh, he just impacts the game, defensively, rebound-wise. So he's unbelievably valuable to the energy level of what we need to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. So he's going to be a big story, I think, in SEC play.
How can you not love Porter Moser, Blake?
He's a hell of a basketball coach.
He's doing post moves in the post game press conference. He's one of my favorite coaches. You guys know I have a soft spot for Porter Moser. But you listen to the Dennis Gates press conference, and then you go to Porter Moser's, and it's like the guy just took 3 5-hour energies back to back. I mean, he's just bouncing off the wall. He's just full of energy. I love it. But he was very upset with the second half defense, but he did say, like Wagi coming along 20 points. I mean, geez, we didn't see a 9 of 12 from the field from Wagi before. So there is some progression, but there's also still a lot to work on.
Alcorn State coming up on Sunday for the Sooners. Of course, we just saw Alcorn State lose 107-81 at LSU. So after that, though, things pick up for the Sooners. Marquette, Wake Forest, Arizona State, Oklahoma State is their upcoming schedule afterwards. And all of those are away from home. What's that?
How about Wake Forest? Almost beating Texas Tech?
Yeah. Lost by 1 in overtime to Michigan, lost by 1 to Texas Tech. Not fun, but clearly trending up are the Demon Deacons. Okay.
Good team.
How about some ad reads before we get into the preview for tonight? You guys keep popping in. We'll throw your chats on the screen, and we are going to give out some memberships. Forgot to mention that earlier. We'll give out some memberships, and we'll tell you about our new membership tiers. They're currently available. If you want to go ahead and peruse and research and see what we're talking about, you can. All you got to do is hit that little $+ button, whatever it is on the mobile device, and you will see our new membership tiers live and in living color right now. If you guys would like to join, we'll tell you about them here in just a bit. Before we do that, let's tell you about the Yearly Company. Once again, too many tabs, Max, and so my ad read is not loading because my computer is slowing down. So therefore, we're here. Let's get an alert here. Woo! That was terrible. But this is what we call an impromptu ad read. The Yearly Company, Nashville-based fine jewelry, built for meaning and designed with solid 14 karat gold, natural gemstones, made to measure for perfect fit, backed by a lifetime guarantee, because every Yearly Company bangle is custom size. You're going to need to know that size if you want to get some holiday shopping done early. Black Friday's already here. Might as well be. I mean, it's Black Friday year-round these days. So if you want to get in on the action over at the Yearly Company, you want to get that size right, shopping for your significant other. Holly's got some shopping to do. Paul McCartney's got some shopping to do. You can do it over the Yearly Company. Free, 100% off the sizing kit over there with our code SC16KIT. SC16KIT over the Yearly Company. Check them out. Tremendous people over there. Yearly Co. All right. Rock Form. Boy, I'm blanking on this Rock Form right now. Hang on a second. Rock Form. It's the world's strongest magnetic phone case. Extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. You got to get into it. It comes to you.
Takes a second.
They got a lot of phone cases, got a lot of accessories. These new iPhones, they're popping up everywhere. If you want a new case, an accessory, something like that, my goodness, what are you doing if you're not heading to Rockform and using our code over there, SEC25, for 25% off? Ethan's making fun of the ad reads right now. The cat should be fine tonight, like Blake's impromptu ad reads, and then he said, never mind, spoke too soon. You can never speak too soon when you yell and say, I want my Rockform. Head over there, ROKFRM.com. Everybody's giving me 6 out of 10 grades and all this in the chat. I'll tell you what right now, folks. Where's that ban button? Where's that ban button for some of these people? All right.
Get them.
Let's get into tonight's action. And we're going to pull up the schedule here as we've got quite a bit of basketball being played, not just tonight, but remember, we got games going on today. A day game. That's when you know that it's time. Feast week has basically already begun. It's time to feast because South Carolina is going to play Butler today at 1 p.m. Central Time. I think the latest line I saw on that was 3.5, Max. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
3.5.
In favor of, what's that?
3.5 up from 2.5.
Okay, there you go. So that is the current setup on that one. Florida's going to host Merrimack. We've already seen them. Florida's a huge favorite in that one, 38.5. Kentucky is going to host Loyola, Maryland. You've got Mississippi State, as we said, playing New Mexico and Kansas City. You've got Arkansas hosting Jackson State. LSU hosts Omaha. Texas A&M hosts Manhattan. Georgia and Xavier. Now, this line may surprise some people. In Charleston, this is a late, not a late tip. I mean, it's 8 p.m. Central Time. Come on, folks. Can't be going to bed at 8 p.m. Central. But you got Georgia as a 10.5? Is that right? 10.5?
Yep.
10.5 point favorite over the Musketeers.
I think that's more of a Musketeers fade than anything. They're
not great.
Sub 100. They're not even a top 100 team right now. Yeah. So there's a handful of mid majors that are ranked a lot higher than Xavier right now. So Xavier having a tough year under Rick Pitino's kid in year one.
Yeah, Butler's coach, yes, is Thad Matta, and
still,
I said, look, I think this is a big game for South Carolina. We've said this recently, but I mean, this is one where tight spread, you win this game, you go in with some momentum against Northwestern on Sunday, which I think is probably a bit of a tougher matchup, but yeah, like this is a big one because I mean, for the Gamecocks, your whole goal this season, you want to get back to the NCAA tournament. Of course, you have time to make up for it in SEC play if you were to get hot. But, you've got a lot of these games like this, Butler, Northwestern, Virginia Tech, that really could define your non-conference schedule. And so I think, yeah, this is a big game for the Gamecocks here.
It is, and it's going to be a test to the front court. This is a Butler team that crushes the offensive boards. They just relentlessly crash the offensive boards, just had 43% offensive rebound, just grabbed 43% of their misses against SMU, who got 7-2 Yigatolu. Corey Washington's a stud. So this is going to be a major test, physicality test here. I like a Simeon getting some minutes. Give me some Elijah Strong. Not sure if it's going to be a Capich game with the physicality. Might be a little bit more of Isan Doko, Butler, Mongolian Mike, but this is going to be a physicality test, 100%. This is a Butler team that can really rebound the ball.
Well, some of the other storylines we're watching, I want to see how Mississippi State bounces back after that loss last night. Of course, they're facing our UC San Diego legendary coach. So, big matchup there. It's New Mexico. Yes, we've already seen some of these teams. We said Jackson State, Merrimack, they're playing Florida and Arkansas. We've already seen those teams in action against SEC competition so far. I think LSU, I'm still curious to see if they can just keep this thing rolling offensively. North of 20-point favorite against Omaha. And then, I mean, the obvious one, what does Kentucky do tonight? I'm sorry, but they are the center of the universe right now when it comes to you can't look away. What is going to happen in this game? I don't know. I mean, they're playing a Loyola Maryland team that's 2-4. They've lost NJIT, who's 346th in Ken Palm. They lost by 3 at Fairfield. They lost by 14 at Duquesne. They have beaten Penn State, Abington, and Stonehill. I feel like Stonehill has really become, a team we talk about a lot these days, the Skyhawks. But that's all we got on Loyola, Maryland right now. So, this is one of those games where, Max, you better believe, Kentucky comes out and wins this game by 14. I mean, it's going to be panic button, panic button, panic button. If they don't win this game by 40, a lot of people picking apart. Can they right the ship here? Because, look, You don't have that. You got about 10, 12 days before you play North Carolina, and then things just completely take off from there. You don't have any, I don't say gimmies. North Carolina Central, Bellarmine, 2 other games before you start SEC play. But remember, it's North Carolina, the Zags, Indiana, St. John's. So I'm not saying we're going to learn everything about Kentucky tonight, but we're going to learn something about Kentucky tonight in a game like this.
A lot of storylines tonight, Blake. A lot of storylines tonight. This is a big night in SEC hoops. It doesn't look like it on paper, but it's a really big night in SEC hoops. While I'm jumping around, Cats fans or non-Cats fans, drop in the chat, what do you want the starting lineup to look like tonight? What do you want the 5 that are on the graphic on your television while they're calling the starting lineups? What 5 do you want to see rolling out there tonight? Banking off that, what you said, if Kentucky doesn't absolutely just come out and make a statement tonight, there's going to be a lot of upset fans with the level of Mark Pope. And I'll tell you right now, if Mississippi State loses tonight to New Mexico, I'm not saying I agree with it, but there's going to be a lot of Mississippi State fans that are calling for Chris Jans. It's a pretty big night. And with the where the temperature is at for some of these programs in SEC basketball. Another really cool storyline we have that's underrated. LSU against Omaha. It's only a 20-point spread. And this is a revenge game for Omaha as LSU's best player, well, top 2 player up to this point, Markel Sutton, was the Summit League Player of the Year last year for Omaha. Playing his old squad that he took to new heights last year. So there's a little wrinkle in that game. There's a lot of storylines tonight. Blake, I saw you're pulling up the starting lineups. What do we think a consensus is?
Well, so far, E to the F and D has Aberdeen, Oweh, Chandler, Modi, and Moreno. And I think you're about to notice a theme here. Chris has got Aberdeen, Oweh, Chandler, Cam Williams, and Moreno. But I think you're noticing a couple key ones here that are in all these. And there are a couple in particular to me, and that is, I think, Aberdeen and Moreno are the 2. Yep. I mean, Oweh's going to be in there. You're going to have him in there. And then I think Colin Chandler's an interesting one. Alan's going to go Trent Noah for this as well. But I'll tell you, I'm going to pull up a couple things here. I don't know if I can pull it up on the screen, but our guy, Brandon Ramsey. You look at this guy's notepad. He's doing work out there, putting in the game film. I love anytime I pull up Twitter and I see a Brandon Ramsey image that has a notepad on there, and you see this guy scribbling absolute wisdom everywhere, that's when you know. But he broke down the film, and I think he was mentioning some of the things about, the lineups that seemed to make the most sense. And then our guy, Evan Mia, did kind of the same thing. And I want to kind of pull this up because I think it is interesting. And I keep saying pull it up, knowing I'm probably not going to put it on the screen. But let's see what it looks like here. So Evan yesterday had the tweet about how Kentucky's players are impacting the team performance while on the floor. His main takeaways were that Kentucky has been at its best with Aberdeen, which I think I would agree with. Otega Oweh being below average is an issue, which we would also agree with. But he also notes that Kentucky has been poor defensively with Colin Chandler on the floor. So I think, to me, the 3 elements that I think have to be there, Aberdeen, Oweh, and Moreno, believe it or not. I think those are the 3 guys that you feel like right now have to be part of whatever your top priority is. Beyond that, I think you can pull some positives and negatives with the way it flows with other guys and how they fit into the strengths of those 3 players.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's those 3, and I think based on
Cam Williams too. I think you could throw him in there.
Exactly where I was going to go. I was going to say, based on the matchup, you might see more of Modi or more of Cam Williams based on what you need there, kind of at the 3-4 wingish stretch 4 area. But I think you kind of phase Yelovich out a little bit. His analytics have been one of the poorest on the team. And I think you take Yelovich's minutes and you give them to Cam Williams a little bit more.
So what you're saying is you want to fade the Vitches.
Just one Vitch.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that's something. But okay, yeah, I think we're gonna find out. Like I said, man, I cannot get that visual of Mark Pope out of my head of just absolute dejected, and we'll see. Chris asking, he has to make. I would be shocked if there's not a change. I think you're at that point now where you've got to make some changes. So, all right, there you go. There's a preview for tonight's games, as we said, and let's see if there's anything we missed here from earlier. We forgot to pull this up from SC Scout Guy, the official prediction from about 49 minutes ago. Butler going down today. SC Scout Guy says.
Do you have I did go out on a limb and I said I like Mississippi State. I'll pick Mississippi State against Kansas State in like a coin flip game. That turned out absolutely terrible. Should have never done that. Do you have any way you lean for Gamecocks against Butler? 3.5 spread, tight game.
You know, again, I hesitate to make picks because my track record so far has not been good on the actual picks, but it's helping in the spread. You know, Butler played well in that game at SMU, and I think I don't feel like look, Butler's 3 wins are over Southern Indiana, IU, Indiana, and Chicago State. They lost by 2 at SMU. That was kind of a prove-it type game, and again, they played well. They hit a lot of threes. Now, I think the difference with South Carolina this year is they're shooting the ball so much better, and I think that's kind of the thing that I'm at least encouraged by when it comes to them getting in these kind of games. I still want to see how the front court plays out. I'll be honest, I wouldn't touch this game at FanDuel. Like, I wouldn't touch it.
Wouldn't touch it with a 20-foot pole.
No, this isn't one I would play at all. I just would not.
Yeah, me either, because I think that Butler right now around the rim has been more consistent with their rebounding and rim protection. They've got a nice rotation of 6'11" guys that they run out there. But I think Lamont Paris is a better coach than Thad Matta. So kind of stalemate for me. No play on that one.
All right, let me give me my play of the day.
You like something?
I mean, I don't love it, but I'm going Arkansas minus 29.5 over at FanDuel against Jackson State.
Any matchup reason why, or is it more of the spot?
We have seen Jackson State give up 113, 106, and 112 against elite competition, and that is Illinois, Louisville, and Auburn. I think Arkansas offensively, we mentioned, can leave a little bit to be desired, but coming off of a close win, I think they refocus here against an opponent that's not as good as Winthrop or Samford, and I think Arkansas should win this handily.
I'm gonna probably be playing LSU minus 20. I think Markel Sutton eats against his old team. I don't think Omaha has the horses to run with the to go with the LSU front court. Their only 2 wins are against 322nd Southern Utah and Concordia. I don't know what division that is. But lost to Colorado at Colorado by 23. And I think this is an LSU team that's better than Colorado. So if you give me just 20, I'll take it. I think LSU probably more like 25, 30. I like LSU.
So what we're saying is, as people are doing in the chat, we're absolutely putting a Jackson State Omaha money line parlay on the board. So
I hope not. I hope not.
I might play it just because that's where we're trending right now. So might have to play it. $5 on what I have to assume is astronomical parlay odds with those two over at FanDuel.
Hey, I did nail Alabama on the money line.
There you go. So, by the way, I just saw now the Arkansas Jackson State money line has been locked. I speak, and all of a sudden they've locked the money line. Could be a problem.
What do you know?
What do you know? No, I'm just kidding. I think it was locked before. All right. Now, how about we tell you about some membership stuff? You want to, Max? You know what? Before we do that, let's hand out some memberships. Let's do that first.
That's a better idea.
That's a great idea. All right. So we are going to hand out 5 free memberships here on the channel. And Holly has got to get a membership at some point. Like, I don't know what's going on with this whole thing. Holly, you got to check the settings or something. I know maybe you've had it turned on before, but something's going on here. You would have already gotten a membership somehow. But we're going to hand out 5 free memberships for our supporter tier, Max. Now, supporter, I thought it just means more. Well, we're going to tell you in a minute why that has changed. Our supporters, our loyal people here at the channel, let's hand it out and see who gets to join. 5 new members coming up right now, and we've got Hog Fan,
Nice.
Tyler, Cousin Zoo, and
Nice.
Benjamin.
Nice.
All in on the new membership tier. Holly still left out. This is absurd at this point. Absurd. The Hog Fan. See that little Southeastern 16 logo there? That's a new badge for the new members. So
Nice.
I know. I don't know what's going on with this whole Holly and lack of membership thing. All right. But Max, we do have a lot of fun stuff to discuss here quickly with our fine folks at the channel. And I hesitate to do this because Sam Smith's in the chat, and I have a feeling he's going to be the first one to sign up for this just absolutely incredible tier that we have introduced. But here we go, folks. Are you ready for this? Our new membership tiers at Southeastern 16. We've been promising you we're about to take this thing to the next level when it comes to providing a lot of cool stuff for our members. And no, Sam, you do not get Chris Lee's phone number as part of this deal. That is on a much higher package. So here we go, Max. Let's tell them all about it. You want to?
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Here we go. All right. So our 3 new membership tiers at Southeastern 16. You got the supporters. That's the people who just say, you know what? I want to support the channel. We give you a nice little custom badge there, as you can see now. You got these cool badges that Max is making, and we got some cool ones coming for the people who've been members for much longer. Those are still work in progress. You get shout-outs here on the show. And again, you get just to support the channel, right? The normal price, $3.99 a month. That's what all you guys are already doing for the supporter tiers. But if you want to become an MVP here at the channel, a most valuable player at Southeastern 16, well, look at that long list of stuff we got there for you now. You are going to get the SEC predictions live. Max Barr, we have been promising this to people. You are going to join us live for our SEC predictions. You know how we put out those videos, Kentucky versus Arkansas prediction, Tennessee versus Vanderbilt prediction, all that. You get to join live in the chat as we make our predictions, and boy, is that going to make things a lot of fun. That's where maybe you can even give us some super chats and be like, you know what? Great. I'll pay you to pick this person. What a great stuff on that. You get that. You get the weekly live mailbag. Your Q&A with us, Chris Lee, Jay Greason, anyone else. By the way, it's not just to me and Max here. Everyone part of the channel going to join in on the membership stuff. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to hear from us, you can hear from the other guys too. Weekly live Q&A mailbag. You get to vote on our power rankings in the MVP tier. You get to now vote. The official member vote will be part of our power rankings moving forward. For any sport you want to vote on. We'll put up a nice little post. You can make your votes. You can send it, submit it, all that. Boom. You're now part of the power rankings, folks. You also get what I think is the thing Max and I are most excited about, our new exclusive monthly shows. We're going to do the watch-alongs. I know, Sam, I already know you are going to join in on the highest tier, and I am just already, I am already regretting this idea, and we'll get to it in a second. Because I already know we're going to be doing at least one show a month probably with Sam Smith, and I don't know if I can do that. But the exclusive monthly shows, you get to join in on the watch-alongs. You get to join in on our new Southeastern 16 reviews. Now, you may be asking, what are the Southeastern 16 reviews? Well, folks, if you've ever wanted to hear me or Max review, I don't know, a 1996 Kentucky basketball game, if you've ever wanted to hear us review a favorite episode of your favorite TV show, your favorite movie, anything else out there, we will review it, we will watch it, react to it, and you could even have the chance to come on and talk with us. We'll get to that in a second. The video game streams. You've been waiting for that. Max and I are going to run a team, whether it's basketball, College Hoops 2K8, whether it's NCAA college football, 25, 26, whether it's Madden. Max Barr and I are going to put on the coach's hat, and we're going to run a team.
Yep.
That is now part of your exclusive monthly shows. If you become an MVP, I told Big Gator EJ yesterday, he said, how much more? Big Gator EJ, a couple more dollars a month. That's all it is. $5.99, folks. $5.99 a month. It's our core plan here. MVPs. You get all this great stuff. Incredible, exclusive stuff. But Max Barr, what have we done? Because we've also introduced the biggest of the big when it comes to the one thing we said, where do we even price this at? And so you're going to say, wait a second, $19.99. There's a reason for that. Because it is our Legends tier. You can become a Southeastern 16 legend because you get all the perks as from the supporter and MVP categories, but you also get to select a topic for the Southeastern 16 review show that we will do, an exclusive new show. You can pick the topic. You can pick a sports game, as we said. You can pick a TV show, a movie, something else. We have to approve the topic. I want to make that very clear. So Sam Smith, you do. There are, by the way, you can tell there's a little asterisk below in the bottom there. You guys can't read that, and it's for a reason. But no, I'm just kidding. We have to approve that, and we will tell you, hey, we can do this or we cannot do this. But you get to pick the topic, and if you wish, you can appear on the show with us to discuss that topic, which, again, if you're part of the membership for the MVPs, you will get to watch that show, all right? You don't have to be a legend to watch the show, but you have to be a legend to appear on the show with us. That's why there is such a significant price hike there for this. And guess what? You also, Holly, subject to terms and conditions. That's right. Yes. And you also now, as a legend, will get your name in the credits of every single Southeastern 16 live show we do. So we'll have a new little credits graphic at the end. Your name's on there. And I can't believe we're going to put Sam Smith's name on the end of these credits, but we're going to do it because we know he's going to join. So there you have it, $19.99 a month. If you're looking and saying, what is that little fine print down there? It's very simple. If you become a legend, we will do that in the order of the signups, and it is a limit of one per month, folks. One per month. So Sam Smith, we are not doing 14 shows with you each month, okay? It is a limit of one member's topic per month. So keep that in mind. That's how it's going to work. So, Max, your thoughts. I know I just rambled on there, but this is probably the most exciting thing I think we've ever done on the channel. You have no idea how excited we are, folks, to do this. And I know you're thinking, hey, come on, you're charging more on this. Look at what you're getting from this. For an extra $2, you basically get all of this new stuff we're introducing. And if you want to take it a step further and join us on one of the shows, you can. And if not, hey, we appreciate the extra couple bucks to get all this bonus content we're going to start doing for you, and we're thrilled about it.
The MVP tier is just we've been working on this. I mean, the amount of hour-long phone calls we had in June, July, and August trying to work out all the logistics of the video game streams, watch-alongs, how to do live predictions, where to fit it into the schedule. We finally got it all figured out, and I mean, man, this is going to be fun. Can you guys just imagine February? We got 2 top 15 teams. It's Alabama versus Auburn, live predictions. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is going to be good stuff. And then, hey, we don't got any SEC hoops on. It's a Thursday night. All right, strap in. We've got game 12 of our 2K8 season that we got. We're facing UCLA in the Jim Maui tournament. I mean, this is going to be, guys, this is going to be awesome.
Tremendous stuff. And I know the next question is going to be, hey, how can I join? Well, that's exactly the right question, because all you have to do, folks, if you're on a desktop, you simply go to the homepage and you see the join button, right? You can also join, remember, on video. So if you go to the video on a desktop, you're on a computer, you can join from there. But if you're on Sam, it's going to be very simple. Where are you watching from? Are you watching from your phone? Or are you watching on TV? What are you watching from? Obviously, if you're on TV, you can't do it. But if you go to it, it's the little plus thing on your mobile device. Something will say join. Also, Sam, you can also just go to the main homepage. Search for Southeastern 16 on YouTube. Go to our main page. The join button's right there. So do it on your mobile. Search for Southeastern 16. Main page says join. Join it. You can also join from individual videos. But yes, we will. What we're going to do is we're going to make a video for you guys. Now, hold on. Don't cut it off right there. We're going to make a video for you guys, and we're going to put it. It'll be the first thing you see when you join the membership. It'll give you instructions on how to join, or it'll give you instructions before you join, excuse me. So it'll tell you all about it. So it's already out, Zach. You can see people joining now. So we've already got Chris has upgraded his membership. Shout out to Chris. Incredible stuff right here from Chris. We've got Phil has already updated the membership as well. So you guys are coming in hot right now in terms of joining these. And as Pooh Bear says, yes, it is much easier on the mobile than the desktop version of YouTube. That is true. So they've made it much easier to do that. So go on your mobile device and join it. And yeah, sorry, I say desktop, folks. That's just, I use the desktop a lot, okay? No, Sam, you don't need to cancel your regular membership. Go to the join. It'll give you 3 new options. I can't believe you've not figured this out because 2 other people have already. But that's it. That price is going up. We're going up to $50 for the Legends. I'm just kidding. So there you have it. If you want to see all the great stuff, go check it out. Yes, as Chris said, Chris has already done it. Chris, please somehow get Sam where he needs to be on this. So there you have it, folks. We're excited about it, and I appreciate you guys already. I mean, again, we can see them coming in. Multiple upgrades already to the core plan, and I think you guys, as you see us put this stuff out, you're going to be like, I need to see what's going on here. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Big Baller Brett, you asked about the gold thing by your name. No, that's just a custom badge. You have to upgrade to actually do that. So
I just want on YouTube though to look at the chat, and that's pretty cool. The little gold Southeastern 16.
Yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely. So Bill says Bill's jumping on the MVP tier. Wants to be an MVP. Mom's gonna be so proud that Bill's an MVP. So, yeah, tremendous stuff. So again, check it out. Remember, mobile device, the best way to join. Go to our main page, Southeastern 16. There's a join button right there. You cannot miss it. And yeah, it's just fun. Like Max and I want to have more fun. We're gonna have more fun with this stuff. So there you go.
It's the best time of the year.
All right, best time of the year. And our exclusive new member stuff starts coming out on Monday. So if you want to get a taste of what we got going on with the memberships, you can do that. So there. All right, there you have it. We're out of here. What a show. What a show. Max Barr.
Weird weekend of hoops, but
yeah,
not exactly sure when we'll be back next.
Nothing on tomorrow. So, like, we may not do another show until Monday. It could be that way, but we'll see how it goes. But, again, we do appreciate you guys. Bill has become an MVP. Shout out to Bill. Lots of new members already jumping in. You guys are the best. And, yeah, we wanted to do this for the hardcores that I know really appreciate, the extra stuff. So, good stuff here at Southeastern 16. Yep. All right. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on your way out, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. And, yeah, football stuff, of course, all weekend. And, man, we're excited to jump into the special members stuff as well. So, all right. Appreciate you guys as always. We'll talk to you soon here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.